What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. A link will be in the description box below as usual. This video is entitled Dope, Episode 1, the Netflix series Dope, Episode 2 review. Sorry. This is the thing. So this one, they're basically showing how drugs are manufactured and distributed to America from Mexico, right? So in this episode, we're talking about the Mexican cartel and what happened after El Chapo got arrested. And, you know, not Mexicans are the bad guys. Now, this is just my opinion on these things, okay? First and foremost, the whole episode is like high tech versus low tech, and low tech keeps winning, right? You know, so in some ways, it's like you trying to tell me all the technology you got, you can't win the war on drugs, which was never really a war, whatever. But at the same time, one of the first things that happened, you know, basically, there was a farm that the police raided, and it was empty, but they thought it was a weed farm, but it was a meth farm. And in the beginning of the documentary, they were talking about how there are hundreds of farms in Mexico that are used for whether it's cocaine, opium, or weed, or heroin or weed, right? Now, the first thing that came to my mind was, just like any other thing, you know, I know this documentary is not going to keep it 100 because it's not supposed to. It's just going to show you a little bit of what they can show you. Whether it's old methods, new methods, whatever, right? Because on this farm, when it got raided, I had to fast forward when I said that. Going back to this farm, when it got raided, it was empty, but it was like people had already been working in there, right? Which always goes to this bad guys, these are the bad guys and we're the good guys scenarios. Where there's always these bad guys are always a step ahead or two steps ahead, as if these good guys don't know that they're getting paid by these bad guys and they got moles, just like the police have informants, drug dealers have informants that work for the police. Like, it's just like, come on, man. You know, you telling me on nothing but farmland, you bring a helicopter through in a bunch of cars, but you don't see no people to arrest because they're long gone by the time you get there. Even a helicopter can't see them. All right, if you say so. The other thing, you know, they show the violence and it permeates in the episode where the guy say, look, if they don't do the drug dealers bid in the right way, they're going to get killed. And this what cracks me up when I watch it. I'm like, if the Mexican government or the United States government wanted to stop this, stop all these drugs, and there are hundreds of farms, you know how you do that? You just burn down every last farm. Every last one of them. Burn it to the ground. And then seize the property. Burn it, seize it, done. You know, that's how you, guess what? You don't have to worry about the dealers. You don't have to worry about distribution. You don't have to worry about nothing. You burned everything down. Ain't no money because it ain't nothing to make money off of. There's no way to re-up because you burnt all the crops and all the seeds. But, of course, for some odd reason, they'll never do that, right? So, you know, the good guy, bad guy thing. And the other thing was, they were talking about how the Mexican cartel's biggest cash crop is weed, but they also dabble in cocaine and heroin and meth. And here's the crazy part about it. I was like, well, I I didn't think that opium or poppy seeds and poppy fields were native to Mexico. Could have swore that's like Afghanistan, that type of thing. So it's like government connection. Been saying that a minute, but maybe I'm just tripping. Now, if fast forward, it gets good to me because they get to the people working, right? The people on these farms, and we talking economics and profit. Um, they have weed by the bale. Now, if you got weed by the bale, you can't tell me you're not seen by a helicopter. I'm just not buying it. If you could sell it by the bale, but whatever. But the thing was, a bale, they were saying the cartels paid $900 for a bale. It wound up selling it in the U.S. for $33,000. Hell of a come up, right? But there's a whole little system that it has to go through to get it to America, and they're paying people dirt cheap to do it, right? And if you don't do it, if you mess up, your ass is dead. So, I'm like, okay. And they're getting back at the gringos, which is, if y'all don't know, it's like a racial epithet, whatever. It's just it's a Spanish way of calling white people niggas in a sense. That's if you want to use an equivalent, right? So, we're going to get you gringos back by selling y'all these drugs that y'all gave to us to sell to y'all. Or that y'all, are in bed with us with selling to y'all, because it's a cash business. Sorry, excuse me. So now you go from the farmers to, they had the guy that was the fisherman, who he's gonna take the product, up the coastline. And he says by day he's a fisherman, by night he transports drugs via the coast, And for me, I'm like, it's like, it's a 3-4 day trip, which is bullshit, but we're gonna go with how it's set up, right? Because on one end, I'm glad that they say, the economy is so bad, you got people being illegal by day legal by day and illegal by night. The other thing is, you can't fish by day if you're taking 3-4 day smuggling trips. Because if it's 3 or 4 days to get you there, it's gonna take 3 or 4 to get you back. So when the hell you fishing in the daytime? Why are you holding? Like, yeah, you really want to be holding? You could do it, but whatever. But they bring the fishermen into it because this is an overlying theme when it comes to people in drug trafficking and drug dealing and everything. Everybody's in the drug business is on drugs. The fishermen snorting cocaine to stay alert. So even though you're getting paid, you still giving your money back to the drug dealers and the bosses because you need that coke to keep woke. So if they paying you $1,000, but you only taking home 800 because you over there just snorting it away, right? They had the guys who were taking the weed because meth, cocaine, and heroin is easy. They showed them at the like the way stations, at checkpoints, right? And because there's so many trucks, you know, sometimes people get caught, most times they don't. So I'm like, you know, but with all this technology, y'all don't know how to find drugs. It's like, come on, man. We stopped 3 tons. Okay, you stopped 3 tons. I mean, but how many tons got through? 179? Like, I'm just saying, like, it doesn't make sense. But when the weed, guys had to bring it in by foot. So once again, is high tech versus low tech. And they keep saying low tech keeps winning. And it's like, either the people who are working for the police departments and the DEA and the FBI and spent all this money on a war on drugs, either they're complete imbeciles, idiots, and incompetent, or they're on the take. Because there's no way that you could let guys walking with backpacks beat helicopters, ATVs, trucks, motion sensors, and they got backpacks, booties, spray painted water bottles, walkie talkies, and phones. And where they're at, they probably got somebody watching from right there. That's what I would be doing. Well, if that's the case, why don't you go your ass right there and get the motherfucker from right there and lead them into your police officers? I mean, if you know where the spotters and the runners are, why don't you just take over the spotters and the runner spot and then, make this whole thing easy? This is what I mean by incompetent imbeciles, or you on the take, right? we got the runners. And here's the thing that bothered me. It was always, we got the people, everybody keeps talking about we're going to go up the food chain, but you always keep catching the people in between. We got a big drug bust, but I caught dudes with the batteries. We got a big drug bust, but I almost caught somebody that had some drugs. Like, oh my God. Like, okay. And just because y'all guys are wearing uniforms, you're trying to make people think like y'all really doing y'all job when you're not. Now, the other thing about that is this, past that, and I got to get into this part that's most important, is they work the process all the way from the farm all the way into the United States, right? And some of the towns were Tucson, Arizona, and Phoenix, right? Now, you don't think of Tucson and Phoenix as the most violent cities, right? When you think about America. But you would think that if a cartel would make Tucson and Phoenix, a very important city, you would think that would probably be a city that the DEA or the feds or the CIA be like, okay, they need this city. We taking this sucker from them. So we're going to burn down everything in Mexico, and we're going to take these cities away. Now what you going to do? That makes it extremely hard, right? Now you got to take your ass to a whole New Mexico, California, Texas, like, right? You just squash these major cities. But they don't do this. Now the other thing that that got me about this series was how much all these people say they were getting paid. And I don't, maybe, I could see, money's different in Mexico, peso and dollar. But just like when they say, what about Chicago? Because I'm going to do Chicago next because that's what the third one was on. These guys are putting their lives on the line And you could tell, and they're on weed, they're on coke, you know, they're carrying guns, they all stressed out. But once again, they have the classic drug dealer build, just sloppy and out of shape, but on drugs. I'm like, goodness, y'all just can't. Y'all are too easy to catch. Like y'all need to take better care of yourselves if y'all gonna be in a business that can put your life on the line. Because you look like you can't fight to win your life if you ran out of bullets. You can't run away. You can't do nothing. But I gotta say this. But all of this is absent of these mysterious white people around who buying all these drugs again. So I'm getting to the third one. We out. Peace.